Hey y'all, it's your boy Kairos. Today I'm bringing you the Tempest Enhancement Shaman for the War Within. This spec is actually looking really good. Now, I think this, as a Tempest build, you have a lot more consistency with the Storm build. I haven't really messed with the Totemic yet, but here's the thing, guys. With the Stormbringer build, it's looking pretty damn good. Now, there's some interesting things with this build. You might actually be able to go without Doom Winds and just focus on pure sustain damage and proc damage from your Ascendants. Now, this is something that is looking really good. So, essentially, with this build, it's all around Crash Lightning, Storm Strike, Tempest, and Chain Lightning. Which it's basically season one, like Dragonflight running the Storm build. You want to get a Storm, you want to get an Ascendance proc and absolutely global someone. Sort of the same concept, but now you actually have buttons to press. So basically, you're gonna pop your wolves. You're gonna start doing damage. You want to spend as much Maelstrom as you can. Get up to 40 stacks. That's where you get the Tempest. So I'm gonna start bursting. I'm gonna pop the Tempest. When you do not have Storm Strike available, you're literally going to be spamming fucking, you're going to be spamming Chain Lightning. Now, there is, I believe, a weak aura you can get, but I still have my wolves out. I'm going to pop my wolves again. Pop this. Got a Tempest here. But basically, all you're doing is literally spamming Tempest. Okay. I don't have Storm Strike. I have my Tempest again. We're going to launch Tempest. You are literally just a cleaving machine, and that is so funny to see, guys. Pop wolves. We have wolves again. Tempest. Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning. Kind of a weird one, I think, rotation-wise. I kind of have to relearn it a little bit, because before it was like just run into them and keep your Storm Strike on cooldown. Now, here's the funny thing. So the reason why I don't have Legacy of the Frost Witch and instead I have Elemental Assault is pretty simple. We have wolves. Alpha Wolf, I believe it is nerfed in PvP, but honestly, you're gonna have wolves up so much, and you're gonna be buffing your Storm Strike or your Crash Lightning so much that Crash Lightning might actually be a really good spell to run for even single target. And the reason is, even hitting 2 targets, your Converging Storms are going to do a lot of damage. Okay, so yeah, I messed that up. So Arc Discharge. Arc Discharge is going to be basically mandatory. When your Tempest strikes more than 1 target, your next 3 Chain Lightning spells are instant cast and deal 75% increased damage. So that was kind of an awkward one to show you because that wasn't right. But basically, you're going to get your Tempest, just burst, get it as fast as you can. I've got a Tempest right here. I've got wolves here and again. 3 Chain Lightnings. They're actually hitting really, really hard. And the more damage you do, wolves again. Crash Lightning. Buff my Storm Strike damage. Pop Doom Winds, see if we can get a proc. Okay, Doom Winds. Probably not the best way to do it. Chain Lightning. Okay, we don't have anything to press. Chain Lightning, Chain Lightning, Chain Lightning. We don't have anything to press. And literally, this is literally all you're going to be doing is enhance this patch. Chain Lightning, we don't have Storm Strike. We don't have Storm Strike. We're going to pop Wolves. We're going to pop Ascendance. Or not Ascendance, but Bloodlust. We just want to keep as much damage as we can get rolling out. And you are just a cleaving machine. I obviously haven't gotten it perfect. I haven't really figured out the rotation and how it feels, but honestly, it feels pretty damn good. So 10 stacks of Maelstrom, Chain Lightning, another proc. I need to make a weak aura for that. But essentially, all you're doing is using all of your damage to do a bunch of cleave damage. And the thing is honestly, this build has a lot more reliability. So, like, a lot of stuff, it's like it has to be over 2. And this has been kind of a staple for enhancement with Ride the Lightning. If they're more than 2 targets, you cleave. You essentially just cast a Chain Lightning off of your Storm Strike. Obviously, even doing something like this and getting rid of this talent, going into this once, or even dropping 1 Elemental Assault and going 2 into this, obviously is going to buff Storm Strike way more, because 25% more damage on physical damage is going to be a lot more than 20%. I'm not really sure how it's all going to pan out, let's say, but as far as, not just standing there waiting for Storm Strike or Maelstrom procs, because you're going to want to use 10 Maelstrom weapons stacks, essentially. You're not going to want to use 5. Like, I got 2. Okay, I got a Tempest proc. You're going to want to use Crash Lightning, obviously, as much as you can. But this build feels insane, guys. This build feels really good. So, this is another thing. Enhancement has a ton of crit, too. And it's actually looking really good. Now, I think, honestly, it's going to look something like this, more or less. So you have a 10% critical strike chance from your nature spells by 5, and the critical strike nature of your spells is increased by 5%. Guess what? You already have a modifier of 4 off of your nature shaman tree. I have no crit chance, and I don't know, that should be off of this, but I'm not entirely sure. I believe it is, but you could also probably run even the... yeah, man. I mean, assuming that you have 10% base crit, and then this, that's 24. I could be wrong. It could be as small as 14. It's still even 14% crit chance for essentially no stats is really good. But this build, you literally just walk into the enemy team. You're going to want to get as many Tempests out as possible. Nature's Protection. They deal 10% less damage to you. That's all damage. For 6 seconds, it's looking really good for enhance, because even if you run into, let's say, even a melee team, right, you can do something like this. Thunderstruck, or even Lasso, and Stone Skin Totem. I know totems get killed, but even for a lot of people, like, if you use that totem, they're still going to have to target that totem. Or if they just want to go you and you use a Tempest Strike, guess what? It's like having a mini wall of 20%. It actually gives you a lot more sustain. Obviously, when you use it, or if you're running elemental warding, you could even do something like this and just take, way less damage overall. So it'll look something like this. You're literally just a cleaving machine. You literally, if there's no melee, you do something like this. Or even, if you're not cleaving, okay, I need some extra protection. Even something like this. So you have a lot of options as this build. Now, this is the Tempest build. I'm going to bring you the Totemic build. I think that's more of the Elementalist kind of play style, is what it's looking like. But this build is looking absolutely insane in the melee cleaves and even caster cleaves. And enhancement, one of the things that enhancement has struggled with is being super squishy, and this build helps. Now, I wish there was a few things that Blizzard would do, and that is, instead of your nature critical strikes hitting your spells, your critical strike spell dealing critical nature damage. I wish it was just nature damage and it was 100% chance, because then you would just slow everything, and that sounds really, really annoying. And I think as far as enhancement, you are an annoying spec, and that should be something. And even if it was 50%, but not off critical strike, because honestly, let's be honest, you're not going to be stacking critical strike as an enhancement shaman. It's just no bueno, no bueno Espanola. But anyway, you guys have a good one. I just wanted to show you guys the Tempest build for the enhancement shaman. It is looking spicy as hell with the Tempest build, going into melee cleaves and caster cleaves. I think the totemic might be better into caster comps. I'm not really sure yet. But y'all have a good one and enjoy your day.